Okay, so here is my solo setup for the game. Represent a marsh. This is like a 10-minute setup with whatever terrain I had available. And here on this side, we have the two armies. Okay, let's introduce these armies very quickly. Okay, and here are the war bands, and here on this side we have the 210 points of Lizardmen. So starting from the top, we have a mounted tribal leader. He brings one regular order to the tabletop, and he has a smoke potion, which is the little blue potion there. And one cool thing is that as a mounted figure, he can dismount at any time. He has benefits from the attacks of his raptor and the attacks of the rider. So it's like 2 in 1. Pretty cool. All right, we have a witch doctor. This is my only spellcaster, and he is a frogman. He brings one regular order to the table, and he's also carrying a healing potion. Next, we have, to provide a little bit of range support, a Lizardman Archer, and this is a customized figure. He also brings a regular order to the tabletop, and he has a 15-inch long range with that bow. Next is the Mega Raptor, and this is the only war beast for the warband. This is a heavy support unit and completely homebrewed on the website, the game's website. This creature brings an instinctual order to the tabletop, and he has a raptor bite which has strength 6, so he's pretty strong. Next, we have a mantis warrior. This is a completely scratch built figure, and he brings one regular order to the table. Finally, a Lizardman warrior, regular order, and he has an invisibility potion, and right next to that there's a little marker with the footprints, which will replace him if he uses that potion. Okay, next, going to the undead now. Undead Legions today has a necromancer, and this is Necromancer Hecate, and Hecate has a regular order. Next, we have two skeleton archers. They each have a regular order. Their range is 12 inches. Following them, we have two skeleton thralls. Each of them have an order, a regular order, and they just have one-handed weapons, light armor, so basic troops. Here we have Skeleton Warrior, and this Skeleton Warrior also brings a regular order. He has medium armor, so +4 armor, and that's pretty cool. Okay, and finally we have two war beasts, two skeletal war beasts. These were resurrected right from the swamp. We have a large wolf and a griffin, and each of these bring one instinctual order to the tabletop. Okay, and in case you're wondering, that skeleton is an old D&D model, and the griffin is from Splinter Light Miniatures. So, all right, there we go. Those are the two war bands. Let's get playing. Okay, the game is now set up with Lizardmen here on the bottom. This is my player console. Here on this side, we have the order pools already set up. Undead on this side, Lizardmen on this side. Instinctual orders are kept separately. And we have undead stats on this side with their instinctual orders as well. I like to keep them separate because you can only use those on the creatures that are generated by them. Okay, so that is it. And all right, let's go to round 1. And first things first, we're going to do initiative. First things first, let's get initiative done. The green dice will be the Lizardmen, and then the black dice will be the Undead Legions here in our new dice tower. Okay, looks like the lizardmen take initiative this round 1. So my little lizardman archer is doing a difficult terrain test. He moved a little bit under his standard move of 4 inches and stops right at the edge of the pool. He's trying to get a long move, a run move. So I'm going to roll the dice and add his dexterity. His dexterity is 2. And let's see. He rolls a 19 plus 2 is 21, which means on the difficulty terrain table that he loses no movement from this. So he can move his full run move and clear the pool. So I'm going to move him to the other side of the pool. He has no problem with this difficult terrain. There he is. Okay, so the lizardmen have now moved forward towards the line of undead, and now it's the skeleton's turn, and that'll finish round 1. So we're going to see what the skellies do now. Let's check the position of the lizardmen. Okay, and here is the mantis warrior, who is right at the mouth of this gap, and the mantis warrior has run. All the lizardmen figures have run this turn. There's the -2 that is given to the figure after running. So enemies have -2 against it, and it has -2 on all its orders. All its actions, rather. So here we have the little witch doctor, which had to cross difficult terrain. The difficult terrain gave him 50% reduction to his movement, so he only moved 2 inches into the difficult terrain. And here we have the mounted lizardman warrior, the tribal chief, who had no problem crossing that difficult terrain, lost no movement, and went straight up the board towards the middle there. He also has a -2. And then we have the lizardman warrior right by the wall there with his -2. He also ran and stopped there. So there is the position of all the lizardmen, or cold ones rather, as they prepare to fight. All right, now it is the skeleton turn. So skeleton turn round 1, we see an archer move right to the edge of the high ground, and he can sense or see the Megaraptor through those empty eye sockets. However, the Megaraptor will have cover. He will get a -2 to the roll, but he will fire. So skeleton fires on Megaraptor. Let's check range and ensure that he can fire from that high ground. Enough range to the Megaraptor, so with 12 inches he can fire an arrow. And now the skeleton's short bow has a speed of 2, so he gets 2 dice. And I think the Megaraptor, he is going to be able to dodge. So the skeleton adds his physical dexterity of 3, so that is the character's dexterity, not the weapon strength or anything. It's the character's dexterity of 3 versus the raptor, who has also a dexterity of 3. So we're going to roll the dice, and 12 is always the target number for attacks. Okay, looks like we have a miss here. And it looks like the raptor has not been able to dodge, so he cannot cancel that success of 16. The raptor in armor check is triggered, so now we add the weapon strength of 5 for the bow. We add that to the base number 8, which is 13. So the raptor's target number is 13 for the armor check. And he's going to add his dexterity of 3 plus his armor of 2, which is plus 5. So always adding dexterity and armor for the armor check. 5 plus 5 is 10. That is not 13. And suddenly an arrow whizzes through the air and strikes the raptor, giving it a damage of 1 constitution. We got to cross out 1 con. Yikes. Okay, the skeleton turn is now over. Round 1 is over. Everyone has pushed forward. We've had a couple of shots here, And the second skelly missed on the mounted tribal chief. We have the skeletal wolf uses instinctual order to rush up the board towards the mounted warrior. We also have a skelly, a thrall that ran early on in the round. He was the first one to run and appears out of the bushes here. We have the necromancer who made a standard move, a basic move of 4 inches, and tried to hide in those bushes, but failed. Rolled very low and could not hide in the bushes. Skeleton Thrall and Skeleton Warrior both run up and appear on that little trail there. And then we have the Griffin who used his instinctual order after sensing something in the magic that operates these creatures. He runs with his instinctual order to the wall. He cannot fly. He has no wings, nothing but bony stubs there. So that covers the skeletal undead. Round 1 is now over. Round 2. Round 2, initiative. Okay, looks like the undead skellies take the round. Okay, Skelly Archer is going to take another shot at the Mega Raptor, the wounded Mega Raptor. And by the way, any model dodging does have the option of going to the nearest terrain that provides cover and then hiding. 2 dice for the Skelly because of the weapon speed. Influences the hit. All right, so 7 plus 3. No. So that's a 10. And look at that. The Mega Raptor rolls a 20. That is 2 successes. So yes, he successfully dodges. And what he's going to do is move towards this cover. That is the closest cover. And he's going to hide. So he just ducks down and hides. He cannot be fired upon the next turn unless a successful spot check is done by the empty eye sockets of the skellies. And here in the skeleton turn, the necromancer is going to do a first circle spell that's similar to first level. And he does have the mounted tribal chief in his range. It is a 6-inch range spell. He's going to do it as a standard action. And he's going to forgo his movement. So he uses 1 die. He needs an 11 to successfully cast a spell. No modifiers, just straight 11. First circle, he rolls a 10. It does not go off. If he would have rolled an 11, the spell harm would have caused an armor check, automatic armor check with strength 3 on the mounted figure. But no go. Mega Raptor jumps out of hiding and strikes at the Thrall, and the Thrall reacts by turning around to face him. This is going to be an unopposed roll, and the Mega Raptor has 2 dice, and okay, so that is strength 6 for that attack, so that's a +6, and yeah, okay, oh, look at that, a crit. Oh, that is 2 successes. 3 successes altogether. 3 armor checks for the skeleton thrall is 14. So 14 target number for the armor checks. And this skelly is not wearing any armor. No dex. Okay, so yeah, that's straight 14s. No. And that skelly is crunched up. He's at 0 constitution. Actually, he's at -2 constitution. Okay, so the witch doctor sees the skeleton thrall falls. He is in difficult terrain, so he's not going to move. Instead, he's going to cast a geomancy spell of the first circle, Stone Dagger. He's going to cast it as a long action. So he uses his mind points to get 2 dice. He has 3 mind points. The last mind point he's going to use to give himself a +2 to one of the dice. So he needs an 11 to cast it, and that will trigger an armor check in that unconscious Skelly, which already is going to have to do a saving throw at the end of his next turn. All right. So, yes, there is one success there. So, now doing an armor check with a strength 3. The Skelly adds 3, so 8. So that's an 11. Skelly has no armor, no other bonuses. So, straight 11. And he rolls an 18. What a lucky bastard. Alright, and that ends Lizardman turn 2. And the round also ends. Now going to round 3. Okay, so it's the end of round 2, beginning of round 3. We're going to roll initiative. This game is almost over. I'm only playing 4 rounds. It's a short practice game. And already the battle is really intensifying. The undead had a pretty bad round with some very low rolls. They have a skeleton thrall on the ground, about to take a saving throw. And the lizardmen also missed an opportunity to get that necromancer with an arrow. So now let's see what happens in round 3. Okay, round 3, and let's see, initiative for the green die is the lizardmen. Let's see, highest number, and oh, the lizardmen have lost a chance. So skeletons take the turn, and I'm going to summarize, only give the highlights. The necromancer is going to try to take some revenge by casting Withering Ray. Now, Withering Ray is a second circle spell, which means that he is going to need some 2 successes. It has a range of 9 inches. He does have range to him. We'll recheck that just in case, but I'm pretty sure he has range to him. Yes, he does. It's an 8-inch range right to that lizardman archer. So now he needs to cast it as a long action, so he's going to forego all his movement, and he's going to get same thing the witch doctor did, 2 dice using his mind points, and with the final mind point add a +2 to one of the die rolls. Now any success means the lizardman is going to have a strength 4 armor check to do. So yeah, this could be bad for the lizardman. Let's see. That's 2 to the 8, so that's a 10. That is not, he needs 11s. So again, that necromancer fails his roll, and now he's basically done all his actions. No spell kicks off. I don't know, this necromancer's not a very good one. Here, the lizardman warrior took a shot from one of those archers, but the archer missed. The mantis warrior then did a successful dodge and was able to hide in the terrain after successfully passing his dodge. And the Mega Raptor abandons the boring pile of bones on the ground and goes after the skeleton warrior there with a basic move. He then does a basic attack, so 2 dice, speed of 2 for him, and that is a total of +5 to each of those dice, while the skeleton warrior reacts by attacking back, and he gets a +3 on his roll. So let's see, we need 12s. Okay. So Skelly strikes back, and wow. So Skelly is successful, and Mega Raptor takes 1 armor check, and he has +5 on his armor check. The weapon strength of the Skelly warrior is +5. Oh, so the armor check that the Mega Raptor needs is a 13. So he gets a +5 and plus. Oh man, he does not make it. And the raptor, who had only Constitution 1, is now unconscious after he overzealously attacks that skeleton warrior, who then, with a good defensive attack. Oh man, oh man. Okay, this crazy turn is now done, and the Mega Raptor's unconscious. The Witch Doctor is struggling to get to him. He does have a healing potion, which would give the Raptor a constitution back. However, he is struggling on the difficult terrain. Failed his roll with a 2. Loses 75% of his movement. He is down to 1 inch. So he's struggling to get there. And the Lizardman warrior who was here takes an action, drinks an invisibility potion, is now invisible, and there's his little footprints as he leaves the combat with the Griffin to see what it can do on this side. And that is a crazy battle. Ends the skeleton turn. I mean, the Lizardman turn. Ends the Lizardman turn. Okay, so saving throws. 1 for the archer there. He needs an 11 or higher. He rolls, and he rolls an 11. He succeeds. He remains unconscious. He's really not doing anything. The necromancer. Now, he's truly unconscious. The necromancer rolls a 2, and he fails his death save. He is out of there. The undead have no spellcasting ability for the final round. And now let's roll for that little thrall who has survived quite a bit of things. He rolls a 3, and now this thrall, the magic leaves it, abandons it. He is now just a pile of bones, and the undead have lost a few figures round 3, and there's still one there. Basically, immobile will count as a death. So the Lizardmen do have a chance to, at the very least, avenge the Mega Raptor. Okay, so round 3 was basically nuts. It's where everything really occurred. This is the battle's now reaching its climax. The undead had some bad rolls, some very good rolls. The Lizardmen lose the Mega Raptor in this round, and several skeletal warriors and thralls are lost in this turn as well. So, and of course, the undead lose their necromancer, so they lose all ability to do magic. So, it is looking good for the Lizardmen, but it's a costly battle on both sides. Rolling initiative now. Let's finish this up. Okay, Lizardmen take the initiative round 4, and right away we're just gonna do this. This archer is gonna fire on that skeleton thrall. The skeleton thrall, it's in his rear arc, so he's gonna get a +2. He's not gonna get to react. The Lizardman archer's not in the skeleton sphere of influence, which extends 3 inches in every direction. So that skelly cannot react. Therefore, the Lizardman is attacking from the rear, so he gets an extra +2. He is going to take a long action, aimed shot, so +2. That gives, with the dexterity of the archer, which is also 2, a +6 to the roll, and it is going to be an unopposed roll. Skelly cannot react, so +6. Okay, so that is 1 success, and Skelly does get an armor check. So strength of the weapon is 5. Add that to the base of 8. That is 13. That is the target number. And skeleton thrall gets no dexterity. So and no other. It's just a 13. No other bonuses. And the skelly rolls a 20. Oh, what a sucky situation. Okay, now the mount attacks the wolf. Because it is a mounted figure, there are 2 attacks here. The mount attacks with a speed of 3. It's going to do a bite, and it gets a 20 for 2 successes. 10 plus 3, that's 3 successes. And the skelly strikes back a 6 plus 1, which is 7, so it does not succeed in its attack. However, it will have 3 armor checks, because, oh, actually, no, yeah, 4 armor checks, 2 for the crit, and 1 each of these. So 10 plus 3 is a 13, so that is a success. So 3 successes, just the mount. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Skelly needs target number of 11, and he has no dex, no armor. So, yeah, okay. And 1 failure, so 1 attack goes through. He succeeds with the other 2 armor checks. He has only a con of 1, so the mount manages to crunch up those bones, destroy it, turn it into a pile of bones, and now the rider is going to try to do the coup de grace by attacking himself. And he gets, let's see, his weapon grants a speed of 2, so that is 2 dice. And same thing, physical strength of 3 for the rider as well. So let's see, he is unconscious. He cannot, this is an unopposed roll. So plus 3, yes, 1 success. And now the armor check is a little different because the rider's weapon is strength 5. So now he must pass 5 plus 8 is 13. So the skeleton wolf must pass a 13 armor check. He gets no bonus. He has dex of 0 and no armor. And he rolls a 13. What a lucky bastard. All right, but he is unconscious and on the ground and does count as a casualty this final turn. We'll roll his save before we go, just out of curiosity. The witch doctor is going to remain immobile, and he's going to do crushing stone on that skeleton. It is a second circle spell, so he is not going to move. He's going to cast a spell as a long action. Gives himself 2 dice. He has mind 3. That final mind point that he did not use is going to turn in a +2 bonus to the white dice. Now he needs 2 successes. So yeah, and it's an 11, the target number. So +2 to the dice. And no, he fails. Okay, a bad spell roll. The spell fizzes away, and that is the end. Oh well, he tried, and now that's pretty much gonna end the Lizardman turn. This guy was invisible. He managed to only lose 1 inch of movement in difficult terrain while he was invisible, and now the invisibility goes away. So now he appears there. Okay, skeleton is the final round, and that's gonna end the game. Okay, so the mounted warrior has been attacked once by the thrall there. That failed, and the thrall remains there. And then he now, because he's attacked from the rear, however, the mounted warrior, it's in his sphere of influence. So he is able to react and turn around. This was an unopposed roll. And then the skeleton did manage to get 1 hit through. So the mounted warrior is going to have an armor save. Let's see. The weapon strength is a 5. So he needs a 13. Okay, so 13 is the target number. He does have armor. He does have a shield. So that is a +3. Yes. +3 to the roll. He needs a 13, so a 10 or over. And he rolls a 2. And the mounted warrior, the mount goes down. Oh, man. So now we have a warrior on foot. Wow, what a tough one. What a tough one. Okay, and the last attack to finish the game, the Griffin attacks the Lizardman warrior. The warrior reacts by attacking back. However, they all roll 2s, 1s, 6s. No successes on either way, and the attack is over. And now let's just do the saving throw for the Skelly. So let's see what the saving throw is. An 8. He fails. This one is out of the picture. The magic does not reform them. And now the skeletal wolf. He rolls a 9. He fails. And skeletal wolf is out there. And that is it. And now the mount, we will roll for the mount. And the mount rolls a 10. The mount itself is dead. And we have one skeleton tribe, one lizardman tribal chief on foot without a mount now. And that would be the rest. All right, that is game. The undead, I usually do not give them bravery rolls. They fight to the death. Otherwise, whenever an army reaches half, it does do bravery rolls to see if the rest run away. But the lizardmen have a mantis warrior who is here, who's going to join the fight if we played another round. The archer right there, the lizardman warrior who has no mount now. And then they still have their spellcaster and their lizardman warrior here. So I'm going to call this is definitely a success for the lizardmen. Here are all the dead individuals for the skeleton army. In terms of victory points, the lizardmen take about 108 points when we add all of the skeletons together. But the undead legions get 79 points from killing that raptor, and I gave them half a points value for the mount that was killed. So 79 points just out of those 2 dead models that they managed to inflict on the lizardmen. It's still a victory for the lizardmen. The undead legion did lose their necromancer, their spellcaster, so they were not going to be in a good position there. But it was a costly battle for the lizardmen nonetheless. All right, folks, so we'll play some more games. Next, I'm planning to play Mayhem in this kind of fashion, and we'll see you in the next video. That was Anthems of War, a game that really takes time to explore, and you never really stop learning from these rules. It is a very, very good game, I think, and a game with a lot of RPG theme worked into it. So a very good little game. If you're interested in it, check out the description box. I'll have links to their website and to the rules as well. So, all right, folks, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.